When I chanced across this peninsula and this particular piece of land, I just fell in love with it. It invoked this feeling of just deep peace for me. It feels like time has stopped. I'm Matt Chapman, and I was born in Australia, but I am a Singapore citizen, and now I call New Zealand my home. I am the custodian of Edge of the World, a beautiful property just outside Wānaka, and this is Synchronicity, the home that was built on the property. Synchronicity is a word that is all about opening up space in your life to bring in new experiences and things by chance. A modern day shepherd's hut was really a take on the shepherd's huts that you find in the area of the Southern Alps, but taking it to this home and putting a modern twist on it. This place sits in an area where the wind channels down from the Makarora across the lake. When there's storms, you can feel very alone, but with the warmth of the fires, my 2 dogs rugged up with sheepskin, you essentially became a shepherd. So it was a home for a shepherd, and I'm the shepherd. When we created Synchronicity, I didn't want too much space for an abundance of possessions. I'd reached a point in my life where minimalism and simplicity was the way I wanted to exist.
The beauty of this project is that we've planted close to 25,000 natives on this property to bring back the biodiversity. This land is very, very special. The journey starts when you turn off the main Mount Aspiring road onto a gravel road. You know you're on an adventure and you're coming somewhere pretty special. My name's Paul Kennedy, aka PK. I wore many hats on this build and this project, from interior designer to client representative to project manager to accountant, landscaper. The design brief from Matt was to build or construct a home that didn't take itself too seriously. The property being able to be robust and sturdy yet cozy is a play on that, the materiality. The beauty of this and the brief that was given to me was to make it playful.
My name's Tim Hay. I'm an architect at Fearon Hay Architects, and in partnership with Jeff Fearon, I designed the house. When we encountered the site, there was an opportunity to build a structure with length. We didn't want anything heroic. We wanted the building to have a sense of retreat and integration with the landscape. A lot of the program of the house and its simplicity relies on that attendance of a very functional utility spine. Each of the spaces is actually an adaptable living space that by a dissolving wall can just increase and expand. There's no corridor, there's no hallways. There's just spaces that can morph from more intimate, more contained, to broader, to even broader again.
The floor plan layout of this home, it's really a 6-box design. At each end, there is a bedroom. That bedroom has a bathroom that's super minimalist, onsen baths in both, no storage in the bedrooms. And then each bedroom has a living room, and these 2 living rooms actually have storage, and they almost make a modular room that can be a dressing room, a sitting room, has the fireplaces in each of them. And they also have retractable walls, which then lead into the central living area, a lounge room, and a kitchen. The kitchen is inside out. so that in the summer you can be outside looking at the view. Outside of the house, we have a number of disconnected but side-by-side structures that include the washing room, storage room, and another linen room. Then we also have an area with an outside barbecue, which is hidden with outside fridges. And then there's a structure that has 2 bunk rooms, which accommodate a total of 8 people across 2 rooms with a central bathroom. And then on top of that is the most heavenly deck that looks out across the land into Lake Wānaka.
Matt's big on entertainment, and he wanted a space where he could entertain lots of people at any given time or have smaller intimate groups. The furniture can be moved around. It's very modular in its makeup. So it gives that sense of playfulness. The fabric is all very colourful, which brings in the element of surprise when you get here. You're not expecting it to be this patchwork of colours, but they're reminiscent of the sunrise here that you get and the sunset. So they're all colours that you do see when you're in this property. The play with the bunk room, it's just playing on that tactility of different materials and textures that evoke an emotion or a thought. And it's bringing back that emotion that you used to get when you didn't have a care in the world. And when you're out here, you forget about the rest of the world. And you can really go back into that kind of peace and innocence that you used to have as a child, evoking a sense of fun that you used to have, and again, not taking yourself too seriously. You should be able to feel relaxed when you come in here. Put your feet up. If you've been out hiking all day, you're not afraid to bring in a bit of dirt, a bit of mud.
The site's incredible. The site is powerful. That experience changes every time you come, because it will be different if there's snow on the mountains or spring and the seasons and the winds are blowing or not blowing. To put anything in this landscape is an intervention that has to have consideration. Our buildings perform the best when there is an opportunity to mitigate the outside and provide a sense of layering. The outside of the building is fairly singular in its material palette. We've used a coated metal profile, and that colour and tone is taken through the window joinery. The screens have a perforation to provide for light permeability, and that idea of a simple building, a simple palette on the outside was very purposeful. We love to coordinate and curate very simple elemental components. The timber, the concrete, the wool and the curtains, the metal and the cladding. The building sits behind the power of this place, which is being in the landscape.
I'm very proud of the collective energy that went together to produce synchronicity in a modern day shepherd's hut. We chose Fearon Hay. Tim and Jeff and the team have been very easy to work with. We really wanted to look to the best in New Zealand to bring forth our vision, and I had the luxury of PK, who is my left hand and who's an incredibly accomplished designer, really managing the project. And ultimately, when the home was finished, I walked in and I was very emotional because it was everything I wanted. So it had been custom built for the life that I was moving into.